Mercury glass, Hollywood Christmas. Imagine Christmas Eve in another era. The cocktails are being poured, someone has put a record on, the Christmas tree shimmers beneath warm bubble lights, silver tinsel catches every flicker in the room, and somewhere beyond the windows, the city is glowing. This is Mercury Glass Hollywood Christmas, a holiday aesthetic inspired by the glamour of mid-century Christmas parties, vintage ornaments, old movies, and the kind of holiday entertaining that made getting dressed for Christmas Eve feel like part of the celebration. And unlike some retro Christmas styles, this isn't about recreating the past exactly. It's about borrowing a little of its sparkle. The palette begins with silver, champagne, warm ivory, and touches of black. Silver provides the glamour. Champagne softens it. Ivory keeps the room warm. And small touches of black give the entire palette the sophistication of an evening cocktail party. But the real star of this aesthetic is mercury glass. Those beautifully imperfect silvered ornaments have a particular kind of glow. Instead of looking bright and polished like a mirror, mercury glass reflects Christmas lights softly, almost as though the ornaments have been glowing for decades. Mix different shapes and finishes rather than making everything identical. Round ornaments, finials, fluted glass, small, vintage-inspired baubles. Then introduce one of the most unmistakably retro Christmas details: silver tinsel icicles. Used carefully, they transform the tree. Rather than covering every branch, allow small strands to fall individually from the tips, where they can move slightly and catch the light. And then there are bubble lights. Few decorations evoke mid-century Christmas quite like those colorful little lamps bubbling gently among evergreen branches. You don't need dozens. A small number mixed with warm white lights creates just enough vintage character without turning the tree into a reproduction. Now add champagne velvet ribbon. The softness of velvet is important because this room already contains so many reflective surfaces. Mercury glass, crystal, metallic tinsel, cocktail glasses. The velvet gives the eye somewhere to rest. And that balance between shimmer and softness is what keeps Mercury Glass Hollywood Christmas feeling glamorous rather than glittery. Around the room, think less about filling every surface with Christmas decorations and more about preparing the house for a wonderful party. On the mantle, perhaps a simple evergreen garland sits beneath a gold-framed mirror. Add a pair of crystal or glass candlesticks, a few mercury glass ornaments, and candles glowing at different heights. On a nearby console or bar cart, display vintage-inspired cocktail glasses, a silver tray, and perhaps a beautiful glass decanter. Even if no cocktails are ever poured, the arrangement immediately suggests another era, when Christmas entertaining meant music playing, glasses clinking, and guests arriving dressed for the evening. There should be a little Hollywood drama here. A champagne-colored pillow, a touch of crushed velvet, crystal catching the light. Maybe even a beautifully wrapped gift in black paper with an extravagant champagne bow. But restraint matters. This aesthetic shouldn't look like a movie set. It should look like a real home, whose owner happens to have collected a few wonderful things over time. The dining table is another perfect place to introduce the look. Start simply with an ivory tablecloth or a polished wood table. Add white dinnerware, delicate glassware, and silver or gold-toned flatware. Then place taper candles down the center. Not everything needs to match. In fact, slightly mismatched vintage glassware can make the table feel more authentic. A few mercury glass votives scattered among evergreen branches will reflect the candlelight beautifully once dinner begins. And that's when this aesthetic really comes alive, after dark. Mercury Glass Hollywood Christmas isn't designed for bright overhead lighting. Turn it off. Let the Christmas tree glow. Switch on a table lamp. Light the candles. Allow the silver ornaments, crystal, and glass to pick up tiny fragments of light throughout the room. Suddenly, even an ordinary living room can feel cinematic. And perhaps that's the real appeal of this style. It's nostalgic without becoming sentimental, glamorous without requiring an enormous house, and vintage without feeling trapped in the past. You don't need antique furniture or boxes of authentic 1950s ornaments to create it. Start with a few mercury glass baubles. Add champagne ribbon. Bring out the glassware you normally save for special occasions. Use candles. Put on a Christmas record. Dim the lights. And let the room do the rest. It's about remembering something that earlier generations understood very well. Christmas itself is an occasion, an excuse to set the beautiful table, wear something special, play the good music, light the candles, invite people over, and make an ordinary December evening feel like an event. Perhaps that's why this aesthetic feels so appealing now. In a season that can become rushed and casual, there's something wonderful about bringing back just a little ceremony, a little glamour, and of course, a lot of sparkle. This is Mercury Glass Hollywood Christmas, a Christmas inspired by silver screens, cocktail parties, bubble lights, and beautifully dressed trees, but designed for the homes we live in today. And when the lights go down and the mercury glass begins to glow, you may discover that old Hollywood still has a little Christmas magic left in it. Would you decorate your home in mercury glass Hollywood Christmas? And if you'd like to discover more Christmas aesthetics, decorating ideas, traditions, and holiday inspiration, subscribe and stay a while.